Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Joel Raff with Western Governors University, and I'm going to be talking today about computers in the classroom, how they accelerate learning and they result in improved test scores. In this presentation, I'm going to cover the history of computers in the classroom. I'm going to show how computers in the classroom accelerate your learning and result in improved test scores. I'll cite actual examples of how teachers introduce computers into the classroom, the results, and how e-learning has changed the landscape of education. Just imagine you're a student back in the 1950s and the 1960s. Well, that was a long time ago. That was a time before cable TV, cell phones, iPods, PDAs, and computers. The school curriculum consisted mainly of reading, writing, and arithmetic. The books you were given for your studies, well, you had those combined with a dictionary and an encyclopedia as your main resource sources. You completed your homework in your own handwriting, or you used a typewriter, and if you made a mistake, well, unfortunately, you usually had to start all over again. Your teacher would call you up to the blackboard to demonstrate your knowledge or lack of knowledge as you used chalk to write your answer on the blackboard. We've come a long way since those days, haven't we? Computers were first used in education in the 1970s. In a report by Jay Fouts for the Gates Foundation, they tell us back then students were actually taught programming skills. But as hardware and software improved, the computer became the tutor or surrogate teacher. Students started using word processors and were soon writing and revising with ease, as we do today. Computers help students learn, and this can be verified. 8 out of 10 teachers agree that computers in the classroom help improve students' performance. 81% of teachers agree that classroom computer availability increases academic performance. Using a computer to gather data, analyze it, and present the findings on graphs, PowerPoint presentations, or written format are all examples of effective use of this technology. Are there any questions up to this point?
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Which subjects are best suited for computer learning?
Well, there are many. I'm going to show you a visual aid now, and as we go through this, we'll tell you which ones are. Some of these would be writing, spelling, grammar, scientific concepts, reading, social studies, and math. Now I'll give you some examples of how actual teachers in the classroom introduce computers into their classroom and the results. As a way to amp up excitement in her classroom, teacher Kate Beal used a computer monitoring system and tablet PCs for all her students. She could monitor, control, and share every student's PC from her tablet PC. All the students could interact together, and Beal could also interact with all of her students and also with individual students that might need additional help. This resulted in improved test scores, adding the interactive spice of new technology to a traditional subject pique the students' interest and equal success. Technology now allows students to do things in more ways that are more exciting and engaging to today's students. Another example was when teacher Laura Nedry noticed that her textbook-driven class was not capturing the students' attention. She integrated laptops, projectors, and an interactive whiteboard. Students' positive feedback and increased scores supports the advantage of technology over the traditional book approach. The law of effect says if you do something with pleasure, you would like to repeat it, but when things are done forcefully, they may not be repeated. The learning process should be done with pleasure, as with computers. In e-learning, the computer acts as a teacher. E-learning can increase the rate of learning from 20 to 50% because the courses are more streamlined and focused than traditional sources. Online courses allow students to work at their own pace, and faster students are not held back, and slower students can also work at their own pace. Did you have another question out there?
Yes, I did. What are the major advantages of e-learning?
Well, let's take a look at another visual aid. and we'll go through these. Some of the major advantages would be self-paced, time and location flexible, cost-effective, global teaching, unlimited knowledge base, lifetime learning options, streamlined and focused, sharing knowledge, enhanced academic productivity, and a systematic approach. Classroom learning can be enhanced by adding e-learning. Did you have another question?
Yes. Do you know how many elementary through high school students have taken e-learning classes?
Yes, e-learning has actually changed the landscape of education, and over 50,000 K through 12 students have enrolled in online courses. Most states actually now have e-learning programs, and these are increasing all the time. The virtual school movement is the latest wave in technology. In fact, the finding of 5 meta-analysis studies comparing computer-based technology to the traditional classroom-based learning shows that computer-based education had a significant contribution to course achievement. Scores were higher on exams, and 36% less time is needed for a computer-based approach. Students in computer-based learning scored at the 68th percentile compared to only the 50th percentile with the traditional methods. In the last few decades, technology has been viewed as the lodestone for improving student performance. Did you have one more question?
Yeah. Is there a new way computers are being used in the classroom?
Yes, actually there are. One of the newer exciting technologies being used today is actually integrating computer games into the classroom. Kids are into games these days, and this actually results in excitement and engagement as opposed to learning disengagement with the traditional practices. There are some relevant statistics. 60% of students use a computer 2 to 5 hours every day, and I'm sure you're probably one of them. 74% say they prefer the internet to books for class research, and 94% say they learn much more when technology was used in the classroom. In conclusion, technology has changed the way we live, learn, work, and educate. Technology helps to create an interactive and energized classroom. The cyber student has arrived, and you're probably one of them. Students are following a digital path to the future. As we have seen, computers in the classroom accelerate learning, and they result in improved test scores. Thank you for joining me today, listening to my presentation, and have a wonderful day.